Thank you.
Hi, Jamie.
Happy New Year! We are the Game Chaps. I'm Jamie.
I'm Bendy.
No, I'm Bendy. This happens every time.
I'm Robin.
This is why we need to rehearse things.
I'm McGraw.
We look to you because you have the actual microphone.
I'm holding an actual
so you're
mic
in
here.
charge.
So yeah, it's the end of another wonderful year of gaming, and we thought we'd get together, have a little drink, and chat about some of the games we played this past 2017 and what's kind of stood out for us.
Yeah, quite apart from anything else that's happened, it's been a fucking brilliant year for games.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
that's
yes.
it. Catch you next year.
Thank you very much. So the idea behind this was that everyone have a little think and chat about a game that hasn't necessarily come out this year, but is just a game for whatever reason they have found themselves playing the most or have the most fondest memories of. So because Bindy's looking at me, let's start with Bindy.
No, don't start with me.
You've probably
Ladies
played the
first.
fewest new games this year, haven't you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've played barely any games.
Well, I think it's funny because I'm thinking the ones I'm automatically thinking of are the ones I played most recently, but actually the game that has probably dominated 2017 was Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Because I was determined to finish it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bindy Baker has completed
I
Dark
finished!
Souls.
I made it! It took me, what, years?
But you did it.
I really focused
I
on it.
was so
this
proud
year.
of you when you sent us
I
that
was-
picture of you being like,
Oh my God, I'm so
Lord of
excited.
Cinder, what? Suck it, Gwyn.
When did you start it? Was it last year?
Probably. I can't
Last
even
summer or
remember. But I got to a point where I can't remember where I got to. There were a couple of points where I end up. It was Ornstein and Smo. I was like, I had a big break at that point because I was like, I can't.
Because
do
was
that.
that the time when
then
we
you came
did
back
that section for...
We did
The
that for the
games
marathon.
marathon.
You hadn't played Dark Souls. Or you hadn't.
Bindy
maybe
had
you'd
definitely
got
started.
To,
No,
you'd
I
got
had
to the
started.
gargoyles. You'd got to gargoyles.
Yeah.
And then
Which I
you-
also struggled with. That was actually one of the worst ones for me, Gargoyles.
Gargoyles is one of the first big humps, isn't it? You have
Yeah.
to get
I think
over.
it's because there's two of them. And that was just that I couldn't. I was
Sure.
like, I can't multitask. For a girl, I always says I really can't multitask. So I was like, no, you stay, you wait there while I deal with this one.
I'm not finished.
I'm not finished.
Did you like the game?
I did
That's
a lot.
good.
I mean, you heard the rage that happened on many occasions. Like, I would
He's got the bruises.
slam the table. I wouldn't slam Robin.
I did get quite
Slam.
I did get quite angry when you would be smashing the table and stuff.
I know, but it's not like a choice. It just happens.
It's like,
Oh, at least I
like in
wasn't
Layers of
throwing-
Fear, where you just start hitting Matt because you're
Yeah.
scared.
I don't know. That's just
It's a
where it
reaction.
goes.
When I get frustrated, and there's plenty of video evidence, I chuck the controller at my hands. I didn't think I did that. I've now seen enough in Cuphead and other...
To know that's something
Drinking
that you do.
Right,
games.
yeah.
Surprisingly, not Dark Souls. I think I've accepted death in Dark Souls, but there's other games. If I die for something stupid, I have to be careful when I play something like Shovel Knight on the Switch and go, no, don't chuck the controller. It is the console.
Yeah, I never go to chuck the control. I just want to hit something. So it's the nearest thing. It's always just this table.
we all know how my rage is.
We know it's the worst when you go silent. I think that's when it's like
He's contemplating what to destroy.
it's just gone
You
into
don't break
silent
things
rage.
though. It's
No.
like you get
Games break
angry
you.
to the point of like almost tears.
Yeah. I really irate and just belligerent. What's the point in this? Why?
Everything
that's
about
happening.
this is wrong, and I'm right, and I'm good, and this is bad.
Yep. That's how we do.
That's I at several points in Dark Souls I had to go, no, I have to stop now because I am getting so angry that I am like welling up because like it's just,
What
like,
was the
pure
biggest challenge in that for you?
rage. I don't know because I don't think I ever got to that point of anger with Ornstein and Smo.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I actually think it might have been why can't I think of what his name is? Big old bony.
Big old bony.
Oh, Nito.
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 Thank you.
Shaggy Nito.
Because
love
I didn't
Nito.
like the run back. I got quite good at it, but it really just like I kept on dying in really stupid ways, and that's when
A
I
boss
get
can
really
be frustrating
annoyed.
for many things, whether it's kind of gimmicky tactics or the run up to
Nito's got a horrible
rather than
run
just,
back.
This is just one-on-one. I'm being
Yeah.
bested by a very smart AI. Or
And
something
It took me a
stupid
long
like that.
time to get the hang of Nito.
And
to
Nito
actually
starts
figure
off
out-
with you having half health because you've fallen down.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to take a big swig, so you're immediately down on Estus.
But again, the problem I have, most of the enemies I had the most problem with is when there's multiple things going on. I'm like, I can't just focus on.
Well, I think I speak for all the chaps here when I say congratulations. Well done for persevering. And you win this fantastic Game Chaps branded
Oh my
mead.
god, I love it.
That's mine.
I'd like to thank Robin for giving me his mead.
I didn't plan this.
Oh god, so many people to thank. I just
Take your time.
Miyazaki.
Actually, don't rock
All right, one more question.
you like me, you really like me. Slash love.
One more question.
What was the point? Do you think where you actually like got
What
the
was
game?
the point? I thought that was just a question.
What was the
I don't
point?
know. Where I actually what?
Where you actually like got the game? Because I do remember like really early on, you just.
I was still
going,
very
like,
much like
What? Why would you play this?
the only reason I felt it was important for me to do because I knew that it was
A rite of passage.
kind of and that I hoped that by the end of it I'd feel the way you guys felt about it.
Like,
and-
or at least understand why we liked it. if
Yeah.
anything.
Where was the point where? Do you know what? Actually, probably Ornstein and Smough because when I beat them, I was literally like, oh god, like
How,
felt like the adrenaline running through my veins, like, oh, I'm so happy. It's like a drug.
That was one of the ones where you went away and came back and
Yeah,
did
and did it
first
first
time, wasn't
time,
it? Yeah.
and I was just like, oh my god, it's finally
Mic drop.
happened.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoyed it. Well, in fact, as soon as I actually finished, I started playing another playthrough straight away.
Sure.
Like literally in the same thing. I was like, right,
Yeah,
I'm doing it.
yeah.
I'm starting again.
Yeah.
But did you start again, or did you do New Game Plus?
Well, New Game Plus.
Oh,
Yeah.
very good.
Let's move on to you, Robin.
Sure.
What have you really enjoyed playing in 2017?
So, it's worth talking about Zelda, like sooner rather than later because it's like
Actually new.
this might be the first year where I've put more hours into something that isn't Minecraft since it came out. Although it's going to be close,
Which is quite, yeah.
because it's probably I would estimate that
I've seen your playtimes on the Switch, Friends
I've
Code.
been playing. Well,
And that's
I've
that's
also
just
had
the Switch edition.
multiple
yeah.
profiles that I've been playing on for things. So I would guess around 300 to 350 hours on Zelda, and I've really, really loved it, and keep wanting to go back to it and just roam around in it. I mean, it was always going to be something that I was going to like. Like, there are very few Zelda games I don't enjoy, but this did a hell of a lot for me.
It's Game of the Year for a reason at the Game Awards.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
done so much, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I think as like a Zelda fan, I felt particularly well served with it, and not because like it didn't feel fan servicey in a really like over the top way. I think some of the like amiibo costume stuff feel a little bit like that. Like I don't want to dress up as Twilight Princess Link in that game, kind of thing.
But that's all
This is
extra
a
stuff.
dick.
You don't have to
sure,
do any of
yeah.
that, do you?
But like
It's an accepted part of games these days. We
Yeah.
won't
one
go
of the
straight
one of
into
the
it,
things that made me love that game the most was simply the map. Just slowly filling it in, just looking for cool things on it to explore.
but
And
exploration,
yeah,
absolutely.
and finding all of the like. I've never enjoyed finding names of places before.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of like.
Do you get XP
really
for that? I
interesting...
can't remember.
No, you don't. But it's just a fun fill-in thing.
Yeah.
And
Or thinking I
and I
actually
loved
cared
all the
enough
like
mini dungeons.
lore implications.
Yeah.
I really liked all the puzzles. I think it like the new physics system has really given all of the like Zelda puzzle design stuff of fresh air. It's
Good.
Edit that.
Put Siren's
Fix in
horns.
has made them
joke of
feel
the podcast.
fresh and different again. Because it like Zelda dungeons have been getting progressively better for a while in general. Like that's the one thing I'd say about Skyward Sword is its dungeons are amazing.
Yeah.
But this felt like you were approaching the puzzles different. Like it's easy for me, who's played a billion Zelda games. to see a puzzle and go, okay, I instantly understand how you want me to approach this.
Yeah.
Whereas this felt a lot more like
You want me to do what?
yeah, this felt
Be
a lot more like
intuitive.
yeah, exactly,
Work,
more
actually
intuitive.
work it out rather than go through the motions.
Like how would something like this actually function in the real world?
Yeah.
And that
And there's a
was
huge
great.
satisfaction when you do work it out, and it doesn't come straight away. But like saying the part of why we've enjoyed Dark Souls, when you do beat those kind of bosses, the reward for the effort you've put in
Yeah.
on a similar level, although different kind of concepts, where you do get those puzzles which instantly are kind of actually no, I know it's going to be frustratingly difficult.
Yeah.
You really feel like you've earned
In
it.
a witness kind of way, but it's you have to think a little bit. You have to, and
Yeah.
then go, when it works, that's really clever.
Yeah.
Oh, now, and that makes you think about other puzzles. Like, I know how to do this one now. Because if I go back, they want me to do this, or here's a new technique I've learned. Or,
Yeah,
very
I
progressive.
actually finished the Champions Ballad DLC last night, and the final dungeon in that is really good.
Well,
Like,
congratulations, Robin. You are a winner of
Yay!
this podcast.
Ah.
Christmas, me, 2017.
amazing. I'm gonna drink this.
I
Jamie
thought that
handed
was
Robin the
mine.
same bottle.
It's the winning mead.
The winning me.
Whoever wins the most
The
recently.
final, yeah.
What I have to say, from having not played the game, but having watched you play a hell of a lot of this game, it says a lot that it's hella interesting to just sit and watch the exploration and watch the areas. And
It's a nice place to be.
that
We did all the road trips, didn't we?
Yeah. I think that speaks
link in
volumes
description. about
a see the little thing that pops up in the top corner of this thing. We'll work that out. Work it in post. But it says a lot to just how well crafted a game is if you can be not playing it
Well,
and
it's the
enjoy
world, isn't
just
it?
sitting watching the things. It's very aesthetically pleasing.
It's got amazing sound design as well.
Well, speaking of things you enjoy, McGraw, what have you enjoyed this 2017?
I've barely played any games, and I was trying to think about.
And you didn't enjoy the ones you played.
They're all awful.
I wrote down the ones that I have played, and there are some that I was like, yeah, I played Uncharted 4, and I played it for the reason of
That's
playing
a
it.
thing.
It seemed good looking and fine.
It was, fine is the best thing I can say. I started playing The Last Guardian twice, and both times I went, nope, don't like it. But I think the one for me was my birthday present from Robin and Bindi
Hey.
at Thimbleweed
Sexy
Park.
lap dance.
Pretty
No,
damn
don't-
good.
That's the best game of them all.
Sexy lap dance. No,
That was just
Thimbleweed
Robin,
Park
not me.
was amazing. Like, it was everything that I could have hoped for in a nostalgic
I'm nodding.
point and click adventure game. Kind of self-referential to all of the tropes, but also I found myself I played it and completed it in 3 days, but I found myself for those 3 days, like when I wasn't playing it, I was thinking about the game, and I've not had
That's
that
when
with
you know
something.
you've
really got into your head.
Yeah.
I've not thought about a game like that for a long time, and just the pixel art was so.
Yeah, that game's got. I haven't seen enough of that game. I'd like to see more.
I would
but,
like us to do a playthrough of it.
maybe we
I
will.
think
But
it's a really good game.
It's got a really cool style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the look of it.
It's the Twin Peaks crossed with Monkey Island, with just like
Everything you love.
yeah, it's all of the
good
things.
Tits.
How would you rate the
Lots
puzzles?
of tits too.
The puzzles were really interesting. Like any puzzle game, there were ones that I had to look up and just go. I thought I had already used that item with this thing, but apparently you just had to use it like 3 times and then it solves. So there are but that's the same with any point and click adventure game where it's use X with Y.
Mm.
And I played it on the easy difficulty, which meant that my voice goes like this.
Yeah, that's funny.
McGraw, for those who can't see, because you won't be able to, is mutating into an amorphous blob.
Yeah, I'm going full
Turning into
Cronenberg.
Kermit the Frog.
Well, what I really enjoyed. No, I played it on the easy mode, which meant that some of the puzzles were easier, but you still had all the items for the harder puzzles, but then you didn't use them. So sometimes I found myself
more like red herrings.
Yeah. There were shitloads of red herrings that I was like, what?
What do I do with you?
I just need to leave the room. I can just leave the room. I don't need to pick up this thing and mix it with this and then throw it out of the window.
That's really interesting.
But it meant that I'm really looking forward to going back and playing it on the harder mode a second time, just to see what the fuck are these things for.
Yeah.
And it was really neat having multiple characters, because you end up with 5 characters by the end that you can play with. And it's really interesting because they're all kind of there for a reason, and with no story spoilers, the story gets really, really weird, like Twin Peaks weird, which I loved. Yeah, it's a real fine game. But I would also like to give a tiny shout out to the Ratchet and Clank reboot, because I've played a fuckload of that this year as well, because that's a really nice game to sit down and not do anything. It's completely inconsequential. I can put a podcast on, don't have to listen to it, but it's just really satisfying.
Well, that's why I thought it'd be interesting to have this chat, because I think all of us would have a different game of the year for different reasons. Either, it's something you kind of wanted to complete for the longest time, or just as a solo kind of one-off experience, or just the amount of time you invested, immersing yourself in the world. All these games are doing different things for all of us, which is most pleasing to hear.
But what about you, Jamie?
Yes, Jamie, please tell us. Please tell us. I bet you haven't even thought about it, just off the top of your head.
Not at all. I could name them. So for me, 2017 has been the year of what I'm thinking of the stop-start. I've become... My attention span is all over the place.
Yes.
I've realised I've really struggled to sit down with probably bigger games, other than Breath of the Wild, to play through kind of fully, for a variety of reasons. And although I do have an honourable mention in Bloodborne, because like Bindi, it's something which I'd reached a wall in quite a while ago. Randomly did some co-op with Robin earlier in the year, and before I knew it, I'd started a whole new campaign, broke through the wall really easily, and went, I really love this game. Why didn't I finish it before? And that got me massively back into it.
Well, that was like Dark Souls for me, definitely. Yeah. There were a couple of points like that, and then I was like, oh no, I'm in now. I'm locked in.
Yeah, and I can't stop playing. I didn't want to forget that, because that was so early on in the year that I forgot actually.
Yeah,
I pretty much played it again and the DLC fully. There was a hell of a lot of time invested, but the enjoyment was like, this is all new to me, because I never actually finished this.
I've still not I've not got past Ludwig in the DLC, because I went back to it after with a character that was kind of over leveled, and because the DLC scaled, I just found it so difficult. And the run back was really extreme for Ludwig. I just kind of was like, what? No, don't like this. So
however, the game that I have enjoyed the most is Stodgy Valley.
Yay!
Wanted to play that for the longest time. Very patiently awaited the Switch release. And now that it's also portable in my hands, I can't seem to put it down. And it's everything of what I love about, when you're saying, McGraw, you lose yourself in...
the music, the moment, you own it.
Well, no, just like
never let it go.
Like you're saying, like, yeah, you put on like a podcast or something and just like mindlessly play, but there's so much more to it than just that.
Yeah.
I can lose myself in Minecraft a bit, where you have to make your own adventure. There's a lot of little funny little adventure things going on, and inside you're like, ooh, I'm gonna have to come back to that in like a year's time. But it still hasn't lost that like base layer of like, oh, I'm just gonna slowly build up my farm, and now I have some chickens, and now I can buy the expensive seeds, and then
and then the world's your oyster.
Well, it's again, because of that stop-start where I've been playing games this year, the fact that this has held my attention, and it's what I think about in between. Like you're saying, it's like, oh, I need to learn how to catch this legendary fish, or I want to be able to do these crops and stuff. It's very, very soothing and relaxing, and if you haven't played it, then do.
Yeah,
I'm really shit at explaining things that I like. I'm great at tearing stuff apart when I don't like things, but I always find it difficult to say why I like things.
So I really got into it in January. I picked it up, like I did like a just after Christmas.
You played a lot of it, I remember.
Like indie game spree. I just pick up a bunch of things that I've been meaning to look at, and I got it on Xbox One, and really enjoyed it. But I think one of the reasons I started falling off was because closer to the Switch's release I was going, oh, I wish I'd got it on that. Because it does seem like
that makes sense.
It's the perfect game for like creating your own tasks, and splitting up your time between. Okay, this is going to be like more sort of
here's a day
like
just
actually
on the farm,
like stuff I want to really do and really invest in, and stuff where I just gonna do some farming and or
here's a day
stuff
just
in the dungeon.
exploring or romancing. It's very quirky. That I think that's what it's got a lot of charm to it.
Yeah, definitely.
All my favorite indie games do. But
and pretty ladies.
Mm.
I've seen them.
By the
Don't think I
bucket.
ain't seen them.
Seen
And
those
pretty
ladies?
boys.
And pretty boys. It's that lovely redhead one. She's very pretty.
What, the one that's called Robin?
Yeah. I think she's called Robin.
It's just something
Stay
about
out of
that
my
name.
video games. I told you this before.
You sexy lady.
Does anybody have any other honourable mentions?
I think on a similar like theme of like crafting your own things to do, I've just started playing this war of mine, The Little Ones.
I'm gonna let it shine.
This little war of mine. That game is like, it's the opposite of Stodgy Valley in that it's bleak and horrible and feels stressful at all times. But I find it really, really hard to put down once I've started doing it. It's just like, I just need to make sure that I'm doing this task, and then, oh wait, no, but they're hungry now. Okay, so we need to be concentrating like on food. Oh, I should probably like make some improvements. Oh, this guy wants to trade. Oh shit, we've been broken into.
Those are the games I like. The addiction. I think you hit the nail on the head when you're kind of like, oh shit, I've been playing for X amount of hours, or oh crap, it's this time in the morning. Didn't even notice because you're so invested in the world.
Yeah, that's been a problem for me this year.
Those are always the kind of games.
I think, along with Dark Souls, eventually, there's two other games that have done. Long Dark was this year, right? That I played that.
Yeah.
It wasn't last year because it feels so long ago.
It was like February.
It's been a long year.
I was obsessed with the Long Dark. Like I would literally wake up. You'd come down in the morning and I'd be playing it. Like,
did you go
I
to
gotta
sleep,
find
Bindi?
some food. Yeah.
Mama's gonna survive.
And it's funny actually you're saying about the bleakness, because I think actually I'm more likely to get addicted to something that is more sort of dramatic and intense than something like. I mean, I haven't played Stodgy Valley. I'm sure I would like it.
It's not that intense.
But Dark Souls, that's pretty depressing.
You can lose some crops.
The Long Dark, definitely. I was really obsessed with that, and I've drawn out a map so I could try and figure my way around. Like
the map is amazing.
I've taken it very seriously.
The Long Dark's really
and I've left
good.
it. I left it at a point, and I've
Yeah.
left it so long that I feel like I can never go back to that game because I do not want her to die.
Yeah.
And if I go back into it now, not having any like,
Do something really
I'll
silly.
do something really stupid. She'll just die in the cold. I'll be like, no, because I worked
think that's
so
fair
hard.
enough. It's an experience.
And then the other one is Fallout 4.
I
Oh, yeah.
love the Fallout
Which
games.
again, it kind of has elements of what you were talking about, because part of what I really love about it is if you have your little missions
I
and
didn't
things.
know you guys had Fallout 4.
Yeah.
This is a huge revelation to me. I mean, I know Robin, hates Skyrim, but we've had this conversation before in other game discussion. I didn't think the Fallout games were anybody else's cup of tea
So
apart from mine.
I picked up Fallout
get it.
He wasn't as
as
first. I
a
like it.
gift for somebody last Christmas, and then realised afterwards that they already owned it. And then I was like, well, now it's just here, and I hate these games.
Here you go, Bindi. Happy
But
Christmas.
what I
But yeah,
I really got into Skyrim as well, but I've got into Fallout 4 much more than I got into Skyrim. I really am
That's
invested
interesting.
in my person
very
and the
interesting.
world, and I like the fact that it's got that element of settlements that you build up. So you have like a kind of Minecraft part to it as well.
That's something new they've added, which I think adds another.
It really
layer
does,
of-
because
Cool.
if I'm
Yeah.
getting sick of like
didn't have it before.
all the little like just going around shooting people and collecting
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
whatever, then I can just be like, I'm just going to build for a bit. I'm going
Yeah.
to find some metal and some glue. and I'm going to mix stuff.
Resource
I see-
management.
I see
There's an
that adding a
addiction
lot.
to that. It doesn't matter what form it's
Yeah.
in, whether it's Stardew, Minecraft.
I have so many
Fallout,
companions
whatever.
carrying my shit around. And I just go and find them. I'm like, have you got? I need some. I need aluminium. Give me
You're
what
that
you've got.
Pacos. Come carry stuff for me. Don't die.
I played about 10 hours or so of Fallout 3 a while back, and was like, I get the appeal of this, but I don't think it's for me. And I think part of that was the thing of like, this world feels so hopeless that I don't know if I can be bothered to help anyone.
I love it.
I could start a whole chat about what I do love about the post-apocalyptic wasteland. But I'm pleased that it's...
All I was going to say was literally just like the house building stuff. Like, that seems so well placed in that game and in that world in particular to just add a whole nother level of investment for you.
Also, what I like about it is that I think it's got a pretty strong main quest, but a lot of the like little side quests I've caught me even more than the detective Nick Valentine. That storyline was really good.
That's the thing. I do take what you say. There are certain quests you're like, go here, kill these people.
Oh
take
yeah,
that.
but you can see those, and you can.
But there's a lot of again. I like games like a little bit of quirk and charm. And there's a couple of fun little side ones like that in the Fallout series.
Yeah,
there's stuff in Skyrim, but those open world games occasionally like, ooh, this is a bit different, or this is quite.
I think what's important
like
for me is characters. Like, if I have to be interested in the characters. Otherwise, I have to care about them. Otherwise, I'll be like, nah. Which is what ended up happening with Mass Effect, which I haven't played in quite a while, and makes me quite sad because I love those games. But this
just didn't
Andromeda,
grab you.
I like it. I like the mechanics of the game, and I enjoy the setting. I think it looks great, and it feels nice to play. But I just don't care enough about what's going on.
From what I've seen of you playing it, a lot of the writing seems either like generic,
it's questionable,
or just
there are some good characters, and so I've ended up just sort of going, I'm just going to talk to you and not bother talking to these other people.
Yeah.
But in all of the other games, you may not like 1 and 3 as much as 2, but in all of those other ones, I have felt invested and I've cared about everyone apart from Jacob.
That guy's a dick, though.
You like having lots of friends, and people you can be friends.
I like having lots of friends, and I enjoy doing their separate missions. But I just feel like, I don't know, there's something not quite clicking with this new one for me, which is sad.
If you like Mass Effect 2, check out our video, link in the top.
Yeah,
I
We're
think
doing self-promotion within promotion.
I think I hate Caden more than Jacob.
Caden's a butt munch.
But Caden's more annoying than boring.
Let's not stray too far off, because this could very easily become a slam cast.
Sorry, yeah. I mean, but I do think it looks great and it feels really nice to play. At first I was like, oh, this is quite different from the other games, and you have your little jetpack, and I was like, oh my god, jump is crazy. But it's actually really fun to just jump around. Woo.
Yeah, that seems like.
But to you, it was more satisfying completing an older game like Dark Souls.
Oh yeah,
this year with
I don't think I've ever got satisfaction in it's quite the same way playing a game. It was literally just like a
Take that, Robin.
Would you say that you praised the sun when you did it?
I definitely praised the sun.
Good.
And on that note, I think that's a perfect spot to end.
Praise the sun.
End 2017.
Thank you for
praising
listening.
The sun.
And thank you to our sponsors, Audible, and no one's
no one sponsored
Thank you to our sponsors, Millers.
Thank you for potential sponsors who may be listening. And we wish you a happy new year.
Yeah.
I hope it was good.
Merry Christmas!
Don't feel too hungover.
Goodbye.
Bye now.
Play Splatoon 2.